right, we're back with another driver spotlight of the week. We have Kyran McShaw coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He's actually been with us for quite a while, since 2019 of November. Nate said you guys started around the same time. What you call it, Nate? The love? What you call it? Summer of love. Although it's in November. Kieran has taken 800 deliveries on our platform so far, and has taken over $230,000 worth of food delivery. That sounds amazing, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, that's a pretty high number.
That's awesome. Awesome. So let's just jump right into it. How did you get started in the whole gig economy?
Um, so I ended up leaving my 9 to 5 around the earlier 2019, and took a little time off from doing that. I was a credit services consultant with Spectrum, and
Okay.
yeah, after pretty much parting ways with them, I took a little time off, and then decided to research employment that would allow me to kind of dictate my own schedule. Um, and even within that time of quote unquote taking time off, I actually ended up going, doing a little Postmates, and I
Okay.
wasn't too impressed with, just the pay structure and just, I guess, just the fact of doing a lot of driving for a little pay, if you will, or a lot of work
Been there.
for, you know, not so comparable compensation, so to speak. So,
Got
as
you.
far as deciding to go along with deliver that, it was just kind of a matter of me just researching. Uh, I came across the opportunity to drive, continue to drive, and then you all had an ad out at the time, and I was like, hey, why not apply and see where it goes? It was just even some of the selling points at that time on I guess to make it an enticing employment, it was worth looking into. And I did just that. And I guess the
Okay,
rest is
awesome.
history.
So what makes Deliver that different from the rest, I should say?
Uh, there are a few things. One, just having the opportunity to um, maximize on scheduling my deliveries pretty far in advance. That was something that other delivery companies did not offer. Generally, it's spot on. You accept it within minutes before you're supposed to go and pick up and drop off, which is an option with deliver that to a degree, but you also allow just the opportunity to be able to schedule it out days in advance, sometimes even weeks in advance. So I like that as an option. Another selling point with me was just the fact of tip sharing. Uh, I come from working in the service industry where I used to be a server, and in doing that, there was opportunities where the bartenders would tip share, or bus buddies would tip share, and we would tip share with them because if they made drinks or if they cleaned our tables, then there was opportunity for all the people that they assisted would put into a pool to give a portion of their tips towards that. So, just understanding how the tip share work, I thought that was pretty neat because in terms of guarantees that you make a tip off of every delivery, where again, in comparison to um, say DoorDash or Postmates, you might drive way across town to do a delivery for their minimum and maybe not even receive any type of tip from the customer. Um, and lastly, another point was the fact that it's not really dealing too much with individuals as much as it is with companies that are doing catering orders. Now, I know individuals can do catering orders as well, but the majority of the clientele that I've noticed have been businesses, and um, that was a plus for me. Outside of the fact that I, again, can kind of dictate my own schedule and go about it as needed with everything else going on in my life.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. All those
No problem.
pinpoints you said is actually what I see what separates deliver that from the rest as well, and that's why a lot of our drivers do tend to stay on because of that money factor, flexibility, and also the pre-scheduling. That's like a huge thing here on the platform. So thanks for sharing that.
No problem.
So now we got to know a little bit about Kieran, the driver. Let's know about Kieran, the person here. So I got a few questions I want to ask to get a little bit personal and let everyone get to know who you are. So let me ask you, what is in your life you feel that you are most grateful for?
Um, had you asked me this about 6 years ago, I would have probably said just being able to do what I love as a profession, which is performing. But I guess now my greatest accomplishment I would have to say is my daughter. Uh, if you would even consider that an accomplishment. I mean, becoming a dad, yeah, but yeah, I feel like I actually did something right with my life in having her. So, yeah, I would say it would be my daughter.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. Well, that's beauty. I'm mother first, everything else second. So it
There you
is
go.
a beautiful blessing to be a parent in my eyes. But you slipped something in there. You talked about before your daughter came, performing was like your greatest, the thing that you were most grateful for. So what do you mean performing? What you do dancing? You do singing?
Yeah, I actually do
I'm pretty sure
singing.
you mean
I
performing
am
arts.
a vocalist for several bands. I actually did a project back in 2009, an album, which is available on streaming sites. It's pretty much Spotify. You can look my name up, and hopefully it'll come up that way. But yeah, I've been actually singing for the majority of my life. Went to school for music. Came actually that's why I'm in Charlotte. Just kind of trying to at the time spread my wings in the music industry down here, and just yeah, just I love what I do. The fact that I am able to, as my job, do what I love. And honestly, in both cases, I feel like I'm pretty good at driving as well. So even with Deliver That, just being able to work and do what I love as opposed to, you know, in my prior employment, just, going through the motions and dreading going to work sometimes. You know, I actually
That's amazing.
enjoy my jobs.
That's awesome because most people can't feel that same way. I know I'm not going to harp too much on your vocalist, but do you mind singing something for us?
Yeah, I could try. Oh
You've been doing this for a while.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, let's see. Someday when I'm awfully low and the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. Yes, you're lovely with your smile so warm and your cheeks so soft. There is nothing for me but to love you just the way you look tonight. Oh, 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 just the way you look tonight.
All right. Y'all better find Kyran McShaw on Spotify. Thanks for singing for us and sharing your talent. That's awesome. You
No
give me a
problem.
little bit Kim vibe.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Yeah.
That's awesome. So let me ask you this. If you had to choose a new name, what would it be
If I
and
had to say
why?
that again, sorry.
If you had to choose a new name, what would it be and why?
A new name?
Correct.
Huh. you know, I am going to say, well, you said I had to because I was going to say I honestly wouldn't change it,
You don't have to.
which
If
is
you
which is
wouldn't, what's
odd
so
coming
special about
from
your
because I,
name?
I used to get a lot of slack as a kid because of my name. Um, but as I've grown older, I've grown to kind of love and respect it. So I don't think I've ever really thought about a new name at this point.
There's
Um,
nothing wrong with that. What's so did your name have a special meaning? What your parents named you Karen for a special reason?
outside of the fact that it's my name, I mean, it's been the definition of my name is like Sir or Lord,
Oh, okay.
just kind of in my eyes, I take it as like royalty,
Oh, I
so to
wouldn't change
speak.
my name either.
But yeah, it's just I guess outside of it being my name and just for one, I think it's a pretty unique name for a guy
hmm
at this point. Um, I haven't come across too many Kierans, or even if they spell it like it, they pronounce it differently. So I feel like it's kind of become, I guess, locally a one to one. So yeah, I kind of have grown to accept and appreciate it to the point to where my daughter's name, I mean, my daughter and I have the same name now.
Oh, wow. So yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
change it at all. Awesome. So what's the coolest place you ever traveled to?
Let's see. Aruba was really pretty cool. I went to Aruba last year.
Oh wow.
I loved Aruba. I loved Belize was pretty nice. Yeah, generally, anytime I can get a chance to get out of the
Uh
states,
huh.
and there's some pretty awesome places in the United States as well. But yeah, anytime I can get a chance to get out of the states, then I consider that like a cool trip.
That's awesome. So let me ask you, what would you say your favorite brand to deliver food to would be?
Uh, I would say I had Buca de Beppo was good, and then well, Buca de Beppo runs a mean second to Velvet Taco.
Velvet taco.
Yeah, I like Velvet Taco. Yeah, for one, it's just the fact of the presentation. It's a little how would you say it? It's modern to a degree. Just
Taco boxes.
the setup, the ambiance in the restaurant, even their packaging and the way they put together their items. It's like a box full of tacos, so to speak. Um, it's I guess it can be considered a little pricey for tacos, but then in the same breath, the food quality is pretty spot on, pretty good. They have some eclectic style meal names and just combinations for tacos and stuff. I've had the opportunity to have them, and it's pretty good,
That sounds like
pretty
a
good.
place I need to
And
visit.
then they hang their hat on yeah, the red velvet cake, which
Hmm.
is I guess a big seller for them.
Okay, we got some red velvet
And I love cake, so
flavor heads here. You love cake?
I do. I love cake. That's probably my downfall.
What's your favorite cake flavor? Our cake day is coming up in here in the office.
uh, I like lemon cake,
That's my fave. That right
lemon
there.
flavored cake. You can't go wrong with chocolate.
Got that right.
German chocolate was actually a pretty good. Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
I
you're
can go
making
on
us
and
all
on about the
hungry.
different types of cakes. Now, the cake that I don't really too much, there are two cakes that I don't really too much care for, I'd say, and those are friendship cake and um, carrot cake.
You say friendship cake?
Yeah, now I just realized that that was like not a normal name
So
for it.
I was
So
like,
I ended up having to,
I'm in the
yeah, I ended up
baking
having to
world.
describe it to people. It might be a South thing,
Okay.
but yeah, it's called a friendship cake, but it's basically like fruit
Oh, like,
cake with a bunch of fruit in it.
got you. I actually made a fruit
Yeah,
cake cookie, and it turned out to be pretty bomb this Christmas. So
really.
yeah, it was real
Huh.
good. Well, Kieran, you answered all my questions here, and I really appreciate you taking time out to even let us get to know Kieran outside of deliver that. But we also have a bonus question. So, what's our bonus question,
Hmm.
Ben? Good one. So, being a vocalist slash singer, what is your favorite artist of all time?
I get asked this question a lot, and I don't really have a top singer or performer. Well, Michael Jackson is, I would say Michael Jackson is the greatest performer. So if we would have to go there, I would say, yeah, Michael Jackson is probably the greatest performer. But as far as vocalists, I don't think I could say there's just one greatest singer. Just because one, like I get to breaking it down into tones and whether it's a female singer, a male singer, and uh, can they sing, jazz just as good, or are they good at R&B? So I start breaking it down and getting technical with it. So, but let's just say Michael Jackson is the greatest performer. I will say that.
So, Michael Jackson, greatest performer, Ben.
But yeah, I like I like Michael Jackson obviously, but then I also love Prince, just his musicality. I like um, singers like Tank. Tank is a great writer and sing vocalist. Usher is nice. Frank Sinatra and his jazz, just how
Mm.
smooth he was with his vocal ability. Um,
So it looks
yeah,
like you
so
got
many. Sam Cooke.
great ones out of different genres.
Yeah, great ones out of different genres,
That's sweet.
pretty much.
Well, again, thank you so much, Kieran. Everything was awesome.
Well, thank y'all for choosing to spotlight me.
Oh, no
Definitely.
problem. No problem.
Well, y'all have a wonderful day then.
All right, you too. See you next time.
All right, thank you.